guys, I'm Justin Davis. I am on the product team here at Krux, and I actually head up the Link Data Cloud. Perfect. That is my jam right there, though. I just can't seem to find the lyrics anywhere for it. As insinuated by the intro music, I'm excited to be here today to discuss some epic offerings in the Intelligent Marketing Hub to a crowd of people that's actually a little over half the size of my hometown, just minus the pitchforks and the cousins, I think. You guys ready? Nope. So I'd also like to welcome to the stage a couple gentlemen that are going to help me present some stuff on the Publisher Toolkit. First, I'd like to welcome Scott Messer, who is the Senior Director of Business Development, Demand Media. And also Samuel Profumo, who is the Chief Data Officer at Le Figaro. Thanks, guys. So as we discussed the past few days, Krux powers an intelligent marketing hub for publishers, which enables insights and activation. We are constantly finding new ways to help our customers extract additional value from our existing infrastructure for both data collection and for deploying first and third-party applications. So let's explore two unique ways that the Intelligent Marketing Hub and our current footprint are improving engagement and monetization for our publishers. First is ad blocker audiences. This is our ability to detect and analyze the users who are deploying ad blockers. The second is Content Connector. This is a platform to recommend relevant content to your users. So all publishers here today are looking for ways to learn more about the users who are and aren't engaging with both advertising and content on your site. And these new offerings from Krux address this and can directly impact a publisher strategy. So first, let's take ad blocker audiences. So clearly, we'll set up the problem. The problem is that for publishers who have users that deploy ad blockers, it prevents them from directly serving ads and monetizing the content. We can make a few assumptions as to why a user may block ads across all pages on the internet. But who are these people, right? And who else? And how else can a publisher engage with them to build a better brand experience and ultimately drive revenue? First, it starts with just the basic ability to detect these users and which ones have ad blockers installed. There are plenty of homegrown scripts, vendors, there's industry-sanctioned code trying to tackle this problem. But most of them don't tie the information back to people data in a DMP, much less an intelligent marketing hub. This means while you can detect the users that have ad blockers installed, you may not know much about them or how it impacts your existing segmentation strategy. So without this 360-degree view of the user, you're flying blind on how to communicate to them, which makes monetizing and engaging these users very difficult. So how does this work? So with Krux's standard JavaScript implementation, we listen for signs that an ad blocker activity is happening on the page. If we detect something, then we log an attribute against that user. Think ad blocker equals yes in our system. Nothing is stored in a cookie. From there, a segment of users that all have this attribute can be enabled in a Krux account. This entire framework and implementation requires zero work from our publishers to implement. We then power analytics against this segment for our publishers to learn more about these users. So we've got Scott on stage. Hey, Scott.
Hello.
So I'd like to chat with you a little bit about your experience and how you're trying to tackle this particular problem with ad blockers.
Sure. So we have several tactics that we use for dealing with ad block audiences and detecting them. And what's nice about this is that it's inside our DMP, so we can start collecting data on them. The problem, though, is that even if you have the data, how do you serve an ad against them? And what do you know about this user? So as we saw the patterns and trends emerge in this early data, one of the things we noticed was that there's very low match rates with third-party data. And this actually makes sense because they're not data contributors, and they're not getting into third-party data pools. They're not in your CRM database. When you send them an email, your beacons and your pixels aren't firing on them. So these are actually just dark users of the internet. And so at first I was a little put off of like, what do I do with this?
Yeah. So now what? So now that you can detect and analyze, What are you looking forward to? What are the broader possibilities that exist out there?
Yeah, so what I realized now is that we're actually creating the segment of AdBlock users, and we can see where they are and who they are, and that's interesting. But I also know all my first-party data about them, whether they're moms interested in finance or yoga or shopping or Fanta soda. And the marketers don't necessarily know that. And so what I want to do is give those insights back to the marketers easily through like a link transaction. And you can use those for targeting them. So if you want to do a server-side pre-roll stitched into your video, you know which pre-roll to give to which person, because I'm giving you some insight about these users. And marketers, perhaps like you want them in your closed loop attribution systems. So I can start to generate a very large pool of these users and start to shed some light on them and share them back with you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So thanks, Scott. So as you can see, this is top of mind for many of our publishers. And we've actually run our own analytics against these users just because we've deployed this system-wide. And we found that about 7 to 8% of our users of the 3 billion across mobile and desktop that actually have ad blockers installed. Of course, this varies by publisher depending upon the content type. Internationally, it skews much higher, of course. But that's only about maybe 20, 25 people in this room. So Krux is committed to helping publishers like Demand Media and Scott understand the who and the when to help stay in front of this growing trend. So let's talk about the what, right? Meaning what are publishers doing to combat this and increase page views with the exact same IMH infrastructure? So with impressions and revenue taking a hit from the users that are deploying ad blockers, as we just discussed, our publishers have asked us to find ways to help them generate additional page views and engage their users to help increase supply and therefore increase revenue. In doing so, we've discovered that publishers are also not just looking for blind ways to increase overall page views, but also help with crafting engaging user experiences so that their users are more sticky and loyal to their brands. So enter Content Connector. Krux Content Connector is a Krux-provided application that delivers tailored content recommendations to the page via the Intelligent Marketing Hub and SuperTag framework. You can completely customize the widget's look and feel and use that experience to engage users to drive them to high-value pages, new and trending articles, subscription offers, videos, products, classifieds, and much more. Our marketing clients are even asking us of how they can buy spots within the widgets as well. But it doesn't stop there. Content Connector is also a brand new data collection arm for Krux that ties right back into the IMH. And it's also a powerful analytics engine that allows us to offer a new insights and analytics package to our customers' editorial and content distribution teams. So how does this all work? The Content Connector algorithm includes user base, item, content, and revenue algorithms to generate these recommendations. For example, user base basically looks at all the content that people in a specific segment are looking at and have consumed at some point. No other content recommendation tool is also a DMP, much less an intelligent marketing hub, which gives us a unique ability to understand exactly who these users are and what people like them want to consume. So I've got Samuel on stage to talk a little bit more about Content Connector. So Samuel, can you tell us a little bit more about Le Figaro, the business problems you were trying to solve, and what ultimately led you to making the decision to use Content Connector?
Yes, well, actually, Le Figaro is the oldest newspaper in France, starting in 1826, when through transformation, as the first French digital player on the market, just behind Facebook, Google, and Microsoft on the market. It's a huge position, and we have major assets who are contents with 500 journalists, and also audience, as I said. And we see through personalization and the opportunity to use the Content Connector, the opportunity of getting closer to our audience, getting the engagement, providing Vivek, for instance, with his favorite cricket paper. And through the content, we see the opportunity to make money out of old papers, because we produce a lot of papers. Sometimes it's a new match that you want to comment on. Sometimes it's an old one. You would love information on that. So we want to take advantage on both audience and content.
Yep. And how does it compare with other tools in the marketplace?
Well, actually, we chose to use Krux because of the extensive segmentation that we have. but there's also the possibility to develop your own system, which is kind of costly and kind of hard. As we saw, building a hub is not easy. Or on the market, you can choose the Taboola, Halbrain that are out there, but you're not completely in charge of the tweaking. And so we want to be using our segmentation, our data, and partnering with somebody who is really competent with that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. So, as you guys can see, with little to no changes to the existing implementation we have for publishers, the Intelligent Marketing Hub is constantly advancing to find new ways to collect additional data, offering powerful insights and analytic tools to more teams within an organization beyond the AdOps team, and it's deploying advanced first and third-party applications, all for the sake of helping publisher brands build a better user experience and increase revenue. Krux is maniacally committed to investing into tools for our publisher partners. With Content Connector and Adblocker audiences, Krux demonstrates just two of the applications we are looking to provide in user experience orchestration. This is just a taste of what happens as a DMP starts to evolve into an intelligent marketing hub. Thanks to Scott and Samuel, appreciate your help today. And with this done, can I get the lights on in the audience, please? So I look forward to challenging all of you guys to being the last one standing and crushing Vivek wherever he is. Don't let him win. But first, before we do that, can we get a selfie?
Yeah, let's do this.
Before photo?
Everybody put your hands up. Hands up. One more? That's great.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Krux.
guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Krux.